What is the deep web? And is it really as terrifying as everyone makes it out to be? I'm Josh, software exec, former startup founder and consultant, and on this channel we crack open the secrets of the software industry. So let's talk about one of the mysteries of the internet, a term the media likes to throw around a lot, but isn't really well understood by most people. In fact, there's actually two terms here, and they tend to be used interchangeably, and often incorrectly most of the time, right? One is the deep web, and one is the dark web. The dark web, right, seems scary, like the dark side of the force, right? This evil, hidden entity under the surface of the internet. And the deep web, that seems like some Lovecraftian horror hiding in the depths. But what actually is the deep web? Why does it exist? How did it come into being, and what is it even used for? Right? And what's the difference between the deep web and the dark web? Let's start with the internet that we already know about. When you use your browser to look for a website, what you're seeing is called the surface web, which is everything that search engines, things like Google or Bing, make visible in your search results. Things like news sites, blogs, online stores, and YouTube videos like this one. If you can find it with a simple search, it's part of the surface web. But that's actually a very tiny slice of the internet. So estimates vary, but the surface web probably makes up less than 5% of all online content. And the rest, that's called the deep web. But what is that? What is the deep web? Okay, the deep web is just everything on the internet that isn't publicly searchable. Doesn't mean it's scary or secret or illegal. It just means that it's private, right? Your email inbox, okay? Your online banking portal, your company or your college network, or even subscription-based services and private databases, your cloud storage. All of that is part of the deep web because you can't find it from search results. And they're not being hidden because they're some kind of sinister secret. They're just protected, right? You need a password or an account or some kind of special access to find them. They're just not discoverable by search engines. So the deep web, it's not dark. It's just the part of the web that isn't meant to show up in Google results. And without it, we couldn't have things like secure banking or private messaging or streaming services. In short, the deep web, it's essential for how the internet works. Now the dark web, that's a small subset of the deep web. It lives in the same unindexed space, but it requires special tools to access, tools that we will not be talking about here. But pretty much, they let you send your internet traffic through layers of encrypted nodes all over the world, making it really difficult to trace who you are and where you're connecting from. It's a little bit like VPNs. If you want to learn more about VPNs, check out this video up here on what VPNs are, how they actually work, and some of the myths behind them. Now that anonymity is what makes the dark web controversial, right? Because it's used for two very, very different reasons. On one hand, in some countries, people like journalists and whistleblowers and even activists are able to use the dark web to communicate safely without government censorship or surveillance. But on the other hand, that same anonymity makes it very appealing for black markets and data leaks and other kinds of illegal activity, right? And that's the side that the media really loves to focus on. Because the dark web itself, it's not inherently evil, it's just a very powerful anonymity tool. And it itself is a very small slice of the deep web as a whole. So to sum it all up, the deep web is where most of the internet actually lives, and we use it every single day. The dark web is just a small hidden corner of it that values privacy, sometimes for good, sometimes not so much. So if you found that helpful, please like the video. And if you have experience on the dark web, maybe don't out yourself in the comments, or do. Either one adds engagement to the video. And if you'd like to see more videos on software and the tech industry, follow the channel. There'll be more coming soon.